A police officer now suing his own department. FoxNews.com reporting that his lawsuit claims he was punished for refusing to attend a mandatory Law Enforcement Appreciation Day at a mosque. Captain Paul Campbell Fields says his Christian faith would have made it impossible for him to attend the event in an official capacity. Does he have a case? Let's talk about it with our legal panel. Joey Jackson joins us, and David Schwartz. Both are defense attorneys and former prosecutors. Good to see you both. Good to see you. David, let me start with you. Fields says, look, if this was an emergency at the mosque, of course I'd show up. That's part of my duty. But he says this isn't really part of my official duty. You think he's required to go. Why?
Yes, it's insubordination. He's absolutely required to go. He disobeyed an order, and he's hiding behind this freedom of religion claim. No one stopped him from practicing his own religion. You cannot hide behind that, and he's not a private citizen. He's a public citizen. He's a police officer, and of course he has to treat all religions equally, Greg.
You know, this is the memo that his boss sent to him, reacting to his refusal, and he lays out an explanation here, Joey. They said, look, policing duties are not just reactive, but community outreach, proactive. You have to know the people that you serve and protect. And he said, these are part of your duties. And by the way, Captain Fields, nobody's making you go to a religious ceremony or observance here.
Right. You know what? I read the memo. I thought it was very compelling, by the way, and I applaud the police department for doing community outreach.
So the boss is right and Fields is wrong?
Not at all. I applaud them for doing community outreach, irrespective of the religion, whether it's Muslim, whether it's Catholic, whether it's Baptist. I get that. Now, let's start off with some statistics briefly. We have about 330.
Don't weigh this down in stats, pal. Don't get in the weeds.
Well, it's relevant, and I'll tell you why. Let's look at the weeds. We have about 313 million people in this country, 95% of which believe in God. Of that, 60% are affiliated with an association. Why is it important? It's important because we have a separation between church and state. When you start compelling people to go to services, there was going to be a prayer service here.
This is a secular event that happens to be held at a religious venue.
I disagree, because what he's saying is that you're compelling me to attend a venue that I don't want to be at and attend a service which is 45 minutes in length that I do not care
in the
to
memo,
be involved.
you know this, the boss specifically says you don't have to attend a ceremony or an observance. But David, let me go to you. In his deposition, we're going to put it up on the screen. Here's what Captain Fields said, quote, "This event is compelling me to go to a venue where a group of individuals is preparing to discuss their Islamic faith, but in my faith, I have a duty to proselytize my faith to people who don't subscribe to my faith. I can't do that in uniform." I'm not sure that he is duty-bound under Christianity to proselytize.
Absolutely not. I mean, don't become a police officer then. Don't serve the public. If you are going to serve the public as a police officer, you have to serve every single religion. You can't put one religion ahead of another religion. That is a completely fictional, ridiculous argument, and he is not afforded the same protections as a private citizen. And
let's not separate apples from oranges. He's not providing services. He would provide services if it required. Not at all.
No. Community outreach, you know this is part of a police officer's duty.
It's not insubordination. What you're doing is you're compelling him. We have a First Amendment in this country. We know that. It has an establishment clause and a free exercise clause. What does it say? It says the government cannot establish a religion, and you could establish any one of your choosing, and you have a right to exercise or not exercise.
To compel
him to attend something is improper, inappropriate, and unlawful. His lawsuit will prevail.
David, I want to go to this. The Thomas More Law Center, it's a public interest law firm. It's in Michigan. Claims the event has nothing to do with police business. They say it was a propaganda ploy to use cops as props for the website. Let me quote them. All of this would establish the mosque's credibility in the community despite its terrorist ties. A week before the event, it hosted a dinner and speech by Imam Siraj Wahhaj, an unindicted co-conspirator in the '93 World Trade Center bombing. In '92, Wahhaj told a Muslim audience, quote, "If only Muslims were more clever politically, they could take over the U.S. and replace its constitutional government with a caliphate." Now, look. We looked into this. I'm not sure the Thomas More Center is even remotely correct, but, that's what they claim. Wahhaj, by the way, denies involvement in the bombing. I'm not sure he actually said the quote attributed to him. But if it's true, according to the Thomas More Center, does that change the equation? They're trying to use cops as a propaganda ploy?
I don't know what world the Thomas More Center is in, but I'm operating in the real world. And you can't, any normal thinking law enforcement agency in this country understands, any city government understands that community outreach is key and is part and parcel with policing the citizens of that municipality. Of course, community outreach in every single religion is very important to any police force.
In a real world environment, I have the right or not the right to engage in activities that I deem appropriate and proper to engage in and not to. If you're compelling me, no, even as a police officer, we have to evaluate this in context.
Once you serve the public.
He's serving the public. He's not saying he's not going to help. He's not going to protect. He's not going to care and provide other concerns for people of different religious faith. He's saying, I don't want to be subjected to that. For an employer to subject you to some religion outside of your belief is improper and not in keeping with the First Amendment of the Constitution.
This is why Joey's such a good lawyer. He had the losing end of this argument, and he did really, really well.
He did great.
All right.
You guys are great.
Good job.
Joey Jackson, David Schwartz. Gentlemen, good to see you both.
Good to see you. Great.